Hello, and welcome to the MTCI Yealink T46 phone training module. During the course of this module, we will cover the physical interface of the phone, as well as the basic end user features and functions. We will start with the physical interface of the phone. In the top right-hand corner of the image, you will notice the message waiting indicator. The message waiting indicator will blink red when you have received new voicemail messages to your voicemail account. Once you have listened to all of your new voicemail messages and either saved or deleted them, the message will cease blinking red. Below the message waiting indicator, you will find the home screen as well as 10 hard-coded programmable buttons on both the right and left of the screen. Each of these keys will consist of either line keys, part keys, page keys, or contacts. Below the LCD screen, you will find 4 soft key buttons. The soft key buttons correlate with the options that you will find directly above them on the screen. Common soft key options are call logs, DND, menu, and call forward. You will also see that these keys will change as you do different tasks on your phone, such as receiving incoming calls, conferencing, or transferring. These keys will change to be relevant to the task you are performing at that given time. Below our LCD screen, you will find a number of hard-coded buttons. On the left-hand side, there is a typical 0 through 9, star, and pound number pad. To the right of our number pad is the navigational component with the up, down, left, and right arrows, as well as an OK button. Those arrows will allow you to navigate within menus such as your call logs, directories, or menu items. The OK button will allow you to select any item that you have highlighted with your arrow keys. And the X key, which you find below the arrow keys, will take you out of any menus that you are currently in. Below our navigational panel is our minus and plus volume toggle bar. The volume toggle bar will serve 2 purposes. In an idle state, the volume toggle bar will change the volume of your ringtone from 0 to 10. While on an active phone call, you can utilize the volume toggle bar to turn your volume all the way up to 10 or all the way down to 0 as needed for the audio coming out of either your handset, your headset, or the embedded speaker. To the right of the navigational panel, there are 2 columns of keys. At the top, we have a headset and a mute key. The headset key will be utilized to toggle the audio between the phone and any applicable headsets that you may have connected to the phone itself. When the headset key is in use, it will be backlit with a bright green light. To the right, we have a mute key. The mute key will be utilized to mute the audio coming through your phone. You will still be able to hear callers on the other end of the call, however, they will not be able to hear you. When the mute key is activated, it will be lit up with a bright red backlight. The next row down contains the message and hold keys. The message key can be used by an end user to access their voicemail messages or to access their voicemail box settings, such as recordings and passwords. Depending on how the administrator of your system requires your passwords to be utilized, you may have to enter the password upon pressing that button to access your messages or your voicemail box settings. The hold button allows you to place a caller on hold on your phone, and they will stay on hold hearing music on hold until you choose to retrieve that call either by pressing the hold button again or selecting the appropriate line key that the caller is on. The third options down are redial and transfer. Redial will bring up a list of recent phone calls that you may select using your navigational panel and place those calls back by choosing the dial options that you will see on your screen. Transfer will allow you to move a phone call from your phone to another caller, either internal via extension or external to a local or long distance number. The speaker key will allow you to answer calls and place calls via the embedded speaker and transfer calls from the speaker to the handset or from the headset to the speaker and vice versa. Now that we have covered the physical interfaces of the phone, we are going to transition to the features and functions. The first feature would be dialing phone calls. To dial a phone call, you can simply enter the 7, 10, or 11-digit phone number on your number pad and either wait a few seconds, in which case the phone will place the call for you, or you can press the corresponding dial button that you will see listed as one of your soft keys. You may also place calls via your call log from missed calls or previous calls by accessing your call log, highlighting an entry, and pressing dial. You may do the very same item from your embedded contacts as well by highlighting any entry and then pressing dial. To receive phone calls, you can simply lift the handset when a call is ringing, press the speaker button to answer it via the embedded speaker, or if you are utilizing a headset, you can answer with the headset key or potentially the embedded headset answering button if your headset supports that feature. You will notice that when calls are ringing on your phone, you will have a variety of options available to you as soft keys. Those soft keys will be answer, reject, silence, and forward. If you press answer, the call will be answered either from your headset that's connected or through the embedded speaker. If you were to press reject, that call will then be cut off on your end, meaning it will no longer ring, as well as the caller's end. Their call will be sent directly to your voicemail. Silence, however, will work slightly differently. If you silence a phone call, the call will remain on your phone, however, it will cease ringing. On the caller's end, they will have the traditional calling experience, meaning that that call will follow the call path traditionally, that is 4 rings at your phone and then your voicemail. Forward will allow you to send a call to another participant within your organization without actually answering the call. So you can press forward, enter the destination, and press the complete soft key, and that call will then be redirected to another party. Transfer is going to give you 3 different options. You will be able to do assisted, unassisted, or direct to voicemail transferring. In order to complete an assisted transfer, you will answer an incoming call, press the transfer key that you will find on the front of your phone, place the caller on hold automatically when you press that transfer key. You will then enter in the alternate destination. The alternate destination can be an internal extension or it can be an external number. If you wish to do the assisted transfer, once you have entered the destination, you will allow it to ring, and if the call is answered by the third party, you can announce the call, meaning who is calling and what they intend to discuss, And if the third party can take the call, you will press transfer again, and it will send the call off to the third party destination. If for some reason the caller cannot take the call, the third party caller is unavailable, you can simply hang up with the third party caller or terminate that call and resume your first call as though the caller was on hold by either pressing the hold button again or pressing the resume soft key that you will see on your screen. To conduct an unassisted or blind transfer, you will answer a ringing phone call, press the transfer button, putting the caller on hold, enter in your third-party destination, either internal or external, and as soon as it begins to ring, you will press your transfer button a second time and send that caller off. This is considered unassisted or blind because the call will now ring at the third-party destination without any announcement or forewarning. The third option available to you is going to be transferring directly to voicemail. This allows you to send a caller right into another user's voicemail box without the caller having to ring at the third-party destination's phone for the 4 times before going to voicemail. To do this, you will answer an incoming phone call. You will press transfer, as in the previous 2 options. Prior to entering in or selecting an option from your contacts, you will preface with a star. For example, star 100. Then you will press your transfer key again, and that caller will be sent directly to the voicemail box of that extension. To conduct conference calls, you will be able to conference in 2 additional parties on your phone. During a call, you will notice that your soft keys will have changed to provide you options relevant to an ongoing phone call. One of those options will be conference. If you wish to conference in a third party, you can press the conference soft key. The first caller will be placed on hold, just as they were in the transferring option. You can then dial up the third participant's number, either internal or external. Once the third party answers, you may press the conference soft key a second time, and all 3 parties will be connected to the conference call. This is considered a hub and spoke style conference, where you are the hub and the second and third participants are the spokes. This is important to note because if you were to hang up your call, all participants would be disconnected. As the manager of the conference call, you also have the ability to split the conference back into the separate phone calls. You will notice that there is a split soft key on your screen. If at any time you press the split soft key, instead of having a conferenced 3-way call, you now will have 2 separate phone calls on your phone screen that you can toggle between by pressing the corresponding line keys. If you were to press one or the other, the second or third party that you are not speaking to will be placed on hold until you pick them up at a later time. Additionally, you can drop a participant from a conference call simply by highlighting their entry on your screen and pressing drop, or by splitting the conference into 2 separate calls and terminating the phone call by utilizing the end soft key. You may also park phone calls. Parking phone calls allows you to place a call on a universal lot that can be picked up by anyone who has the same parking keys on their phone. On your phone, you will see that there is a park call key. If you are on an active phone call and you need to park that caller so that they can be picked up at a different location, you can press your park call button. Your park call will then be placed on the first numerically available parking lot key that you will find on the right-hand side of your screen. Traditionally, there are 3 parking keys on each phone. To retrieve a key parked call, you can simply press the corresponding button to retrieve that caller. For example, if a caller is parked on lot 701, you can retrieve that caller by pressing the Park 701 button. You will then be connected to the caller on that lot. Parking by default has a 45-second timer, meaning that if you park a call and it is not retrieved by anyone in the 45 seconds, the call will be routed back to the person who parked them to be handled. DND is essentially do not disturb, and this will allow you to place your phone in a state where you will not receive any calls or announcements. Any calls or announcements that are sent to you will be sent directly to your voicemail, and you will then receive your message waiting indicator notification or potentially voicemail to email notification as well. Once your phone is on your desk and it is active, you can set up your asterisk voicemail box. To access and initialize your voicemail box, you will dial *97 from your phone. You will likely be asked for a password. Your password by default will be 1234. Once you have accessed your voicemail box, you will hear very common voicemail settings. For example, you will be told whether or not you have any new messages. You will then also be presented with options for your mailbox. If you press option 0 for your mailbox, you will then be presented with the availability to change your password and to do your voicemail box recordings. The very first thing that you should do is change the password for your voicemail box. Although it starts as 1234 by default, it is recommended that you change your password to another numerical password, at least 4 digits in length. If at some time you were to forget your password or you needed to change your password, you could log back in if you know your password, and if you need to have it reset and you do not remember it, your company administrator will be able to either reset it or remind you what it is currently set as. Once you have changed your voicemail box password, it is recommended that you do your voice mailbox recordings. These recordings are the messages that callers will hear whenever they are placed within your voicemail box. There are a variety of voicemail messages that you can record. It is recommended that you do options 1 and 3 at a minimum. However, you may choose to do all 3 to cover both unavailable and busy states. The unavailable message is the message that will play to internal or external callers when the phone is not answered or is in a specific call status. This is typically the message that callers will hear whenever you happen to not be able to pick up your phone. Generally, it's something along the lines of, "Hello, my name is Jonathan Wolf. I'm not available to take your call personally at this time. Please leave me a message, telephone number, and a brief description, and I will respond at the earliest convenience." You may also do a busy message. Now, a busy message will play exclusively when your phone is in a state of do not disturb. This message can be different if you would like it to. However, if you like your unavailable message can play in both states, both unavailable and busy. The third option available to you would be simply recording your name. The name is important to record because when you record option 3, the snippet of audio where you have recorded your name will then be incorporated into the phone system, specifically into the phone system directory. This is important because when callers call and access the company directory, they will hear you stating your name when they look for you, rather than the phone system reading it off robotically. There is a fourth option available to you that you will hear in your voicemail box options, and that is a temporary greeting. The temporary greeting will allow you to record a message and activate it as desired when you will not be in the office for set amounts of time. For example, if you won't be in on a certain date, let's say a Monday to a Friday, you can do a recording indicating that you will be out of the office on those dates, and then you can activate that message as needed. If you do an unavailable greeting or a busy message, and then you record your temporary greeting, the temporary greeting will take place of those unavailable and busy messages until you go back through your settings when you return to the office and disable your temporary greeting. Thank you.